Good afternoon. I'm Ines Isabel Drew Smith, and my father was C.C. Drew, who ran a lumber yard here. And when I was 19 years old, my family was moving here from Iowa, and as we came through Worthington, my father found out that the first train was coming into Laverne that day that we arrived in Worthington. And so he convinced the conductor to let me ride the train into Laverne so that when they got here, we would have a hotel room the next day when my family got here. So I rode the train. There wasn't a passenger car, but I rode the caboose into Laverne, and so I'm considered to be the first passenger to arrive on a train in Laverne. That was in 1876. I married Frank Smith, and we had 3 children. Dale was the youngest, Forrest was the middle child, and Cleon was the oldest. My husband and I had a furniture store. My father built the building that is now Print Express. He built that building for us so that we could sell furniture out of that. And next to it, I had a wooden building that I did mortician work. I am the first woman licensed mortician in the state of Minnesota. I did a lot of the work on the inside of the caskets. In those days, we did not have fancy caskets, and so I did a lot of the decorating and the filling of the inside of the casket myself. My oldest son, Cleon, was selling McCormick Deering machinery in 1915, and he could no longer get into Europe to sell the machinery, and so he came home to be in business with my son, Forrest, and myself. He got very ill. He had appendicitis, and in those days there were not hospitals in Sioux Falls like we have them now, so they took him to Rochester for an appendectomy. I had pneumonia, and I was not feeling well, but they called me and said that I needed to come right away because Cleon was very, very ill. So I boarded the train at midnight. I rode to Rochester and got to the hospital, and when I stopped at the receptionist's desk, I said I was there to see Cleon. The receptionist said, "I'm sorry, but he's expired." And it was such a shock to my system, not feeling well, that I died. The sad part of my story is that Cleon had not died. It was another Smith. Thank you for stopping.